Are you always finding yourself in this position in Rise of the Ronin? Well, I'll give you some basic tips on how you can manage your ki and how you can use the blood gauge meter to your advantage. Ki in Rise of the Ronin is basically your stamina. Everything from attacking, dodging, blocking while getting hit, and using your grappling hook will drain your ki. As long as you're not doing any of the things I just mentioned, your ki will refill over time. So for beginners, I would suggest you back off your enemy and make sure they're not hitting you, and try not to dodge out the way or attack so that your ki can refill in a timely fashion. If your ki is too low, you won't be able to attack or dodge, and if you get hit while it's low, then you will be stuck in a stun state, leaving you open for heavy damage from your enemy, and nobody wants that. Managing your ki in general is pretty simple. All you have to do is watch the ki gauge and make sure that you're not dropping below a certain amount. So don't get greedy with your attacks and learn when to back off your enemy, even when you have an opening. As many enemies in the game can actually get into a state where even though you're attacking, they aren't being stunned by your hits. If you're fighting an enemy that hits repeatedly over and over again, blocking can help, but obviously if you block too long, then they can break your stance. That's why you need to learn how to Counterspark. There's a video I made about that will be linked in the description that you could check out after this one. Thankfully, there are ways that you can help with your ki gauge through your stats. Of course, gear can obviously help with your ki gauge and increase it and also help you reduce damage taken, but I want to focus more on your actual stats that you can upgrade yourself. In the strength tree, there is a skill that allows you to gain ki recovery from every critical hit. There is ki consumption, which lessens the ki loss when blocking. Flash attack level 3 allows you to recover ki after weapon switching mid-combo. Violent Gale level 2 allows you to ki recovery from stance switching mid-combo. And probably the best one you should invest in is ki recovery at the Counterspark. Now, this only applies when you're using a stance that the enemy is weak to. So it will not work on stances that are gray or red, only the blue ones. In the charm skill tree, there is an ability called ki recovery from blade flash. Now, blade flash is one of the many abilities that you'll have in the beginning of the game. And if like me, you probably haven't been using it that much, but I'm gonna tell you why you should probably utilize it. If you play other Team Ninja type games, then blade flash will be equivalent to regaining your ki or stamina after every attack. The difference in Rise of the Ronin is that it only works when you build up blood on your weapon, and you only get blood on your weapon by hitting the enemy. By pressing R1, you will be able to shake the blood off your weapon and regain ki. This obviously will allow you to attack more or get into a defensive stance if need be. Like I said before, you do not have to wait for the blood gauge to be full, but the more blood gauge you have, the more ki recovery you will get back when you use it. Also, blocking will deplete your blood gauge, as when you get hit, the blood is getting knocked off your weapon. Another minor thing you need to worry about when it comes to ki recovery is your actual weapon stances. Depending upon the weapon stance you're currently using, it may change the way your weapon attacks. So for example, there are some stances that make your character attack twice with one button press. This will drain more stamina than normal. And because you're going to be constantly switching between stances mid-fight, depending upon the enemy you're fighting, you may not really be paying that much attention to this. So just keep that in mind. If you're noticing you're losing more stamina than normal with attacks, it's probably because you're using a different type of stance you're not used to. Despite everything I mentioned, all these things can help you manage your ki. But the best thing I've noticed is simply to be patient and not to be greedy with attacks. However, if you want to learn how to play aggressively, I will cover that in the future, using the blood gauge and other features mentioned in this video. If you found this video helpful, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share. I'll be covering more Rise of the Ronin in the future, so stay tuned for more future tips. Peace.